having never really discussed with you guys before, I was wondering, what are your thoughts about anime? What's your history with it, if any? How do you think it's developed over the past 15 to 20 years? And is there any anime that you're into at the moment or recently? So, anime, what's your history with it?
I mean, I've not. I guess I have really. I mean, I've watched a few things. I've not like been an anime fan to specifically go out and seek anime.
No, not like a hardcore fan.
But like, yeah. But I have like I think even as well like it's been said like without even knowing I've watched it. Do you know what I mean? Like I've appreciated. Like I used to watch like One Piece as well. And
yeah, well that's anime. That's as much anime as anything else. That's as much anime as anything else, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like without knowing, I've watched it. Do you know what I mean? And I've liked it without actually purposefully going out for it. But yeah, like I used to watch Dragon Ball Z and stuff, like we all did, and that, and I liked it.
I mean, Dragon Ball Z is amazing, but it becomes that point where it's like a crossover where you're not sure whether something's a cartoon or an anime. But in Japan, they're one and the same, so it's kind of like it's different. And where we think of cartoons as for kids, they don't see it like that. There's a clear distinction. There's adult cartoons and kid cartoons.
This is what does my head in, though. This is what does my head in, because I mean, like I said, I'm not like a die-hard fan or anything. I've not, I like it, whatever. I like what I like. I'm not trying to defend it to the, to the earth or whatever. But my point is, everyone's like, oh, anime's so childish. Anime's so this, anime's so that. But it's perfectly acceptable for grown women and grown men to like Disney.
Yeah.
Like,
or like Toy Story or something.
I fucking love Disney. Like, don't diss Disney, because I'm a bit of a geeky fan. I do like it, but for someone to say, "Oh no,"
well, they're
can't deal
clearly
with that
designed
childish shit, and then fucking sings "Let It Go." Like, it's just really hypocritical.
They're clearly designed more for kids than they are adults. They have some adult theme to them, but whereas like there's things that are just not like designed for kids in anime that's like really fucked up. I mean, Attack on Titan. Do not show that to your kids. Do not show it to your kids. They'll have nightmares.
No. I think the only thing that I guess puts me off with some of the anime, I mean, yeah, just some of it, I guess. I can't, not all of them are the same and stuff. It's just how fucking weird things are in it. Like, I'm not saying that if I didn't watch down, I wouldn't like it. Like, for instance, One Piece is just really weird. And there's, like, just... Do you know what I mean? Like, the whole theme of it's just bizarre. Like, but yeah, I'm not saying that if I didn't sit down... I mean, obviously, like I said, I like One Piece. If I didn't sit down and watch them all, then I wouldn't like it. I'm just saying the concept of it and making myself watch something that's a bit, like, out there doesn't push me to watch it. Do you know what I mean? It's just something that kind of like puts me off. I don't know, like
they're very Japanese in a cultural sense, and it's when you watch them, I don't think you think of them in the same sense sometimes as other TV shows and programs and whatnot. It's like, I don't know. So I think some people think of them more like filler, but I think when an anime is really good, it transcends that, and it is just as legitimate as any show on Netflix or whatever, Amazon, whatever you're watching. But I think for me personally, it's only the really good ones that tend to capture me. I mean, back in the day, I used to be quite into anime, but when it was a lot rarer, like over here, it was incredibly rare to have and see these things, and there were more films. It was more about films than TV shows. It's all about TV shows now. So
I agree. Yeah.
What about you then, Lou? Have you got any history with? What's your history with them?
Maybe I don't like it, but actually, I think I watch a ton. You've said One Piece. You've said Dragon Ball Z.
Well, Dragon Ball Z is a classic.
I watched more than I realised. I've watched all the Death Notes. Bleach.
I've never seen that one.
High School of the Dead.
I've seen some of that. Taylor showed me. Made me watch it. It's a bit porny, isn't it, at times?
It's quite lesbo-y, yes.
Yeah, very. Oh, my top slipped. That sort
under normal circumstances, if your teacher asks you to take a bath with you, you should probably say no.
Yeah, definitely take a pass on that. Usually, and they're all they're all in school, so they've got to be quite young. So it's like creepy.
Yeah, but lately I've been watching only last week actually. Attack on Titan.
Have you not watched them all yet?
No, I got about halfway through.
It's really good. It's really good.
It is really good. What has put me off is that Taylor has said that there's still no like answers or clear end in sight, which has made me lose interest a little bit.
Well, it's not. It's just that they're taking so long to make the second series. I think and imagine they've got answers and stuff. It's just they haven't told. They don't tell you as much as you'd want to know by the end of the series.
According
you'd
to
want
Taylor,
to know a
they've
lot
not
more.
got anywhere in the books even.
Oh, I don't know about that. He reads anime and shit. I'm not that into it.
So that puts me off a little bit. As with a lot of things, if I'm reluctant these days to start a book that hasn't come to an end, or a binge watch series. I haven't got the patience to watch a single episode once a week.
You always worry that it's going to end up like a Lost, where it's just going to tail off after like series 2 and just be absolute shite, which is definitely a worry. But animes usually seem to hold their story for quite, through to the end usually.
But it's almost better to come across it when it's nearly done.
Yeah, that is true. If you watched it all in one go, that's what I'm going to do with Game of Thrones. Because I've never really watched Game of Thrones, but I'm just going to watch it all in one go when it's all finished, I think. So, because people rave on that shit, so...
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very good.
So that's what I'll probably do. So, yeah, that's a good thing. But definitely Attack on Titan. Have you seen that, V? Did you watch any of them yet?
Which one's that? The...
Attack on Titan. The
no,
one with
I
the weird
haven't.
nudie blokes and women.
Yeah, no, not yet.
They're
I've
so
been binge watching Gotham.
They are creepy. Yeah, definitely. If there was any that I was going to say to anyone to watch now, any newish ones or recent ones, Attack on Titan's definitely the one I'd suggest, because especially if you were into binge watching, that really hits.
I mean, I used to, like, ages ago, I'd wait every week for the fucking episode, and and it'd do my head in. Walking Dead's the worst bastard for it in the whole wide world. Even, oh god, it just used to do my head in. And then, like, I proper, started loving on Netflix and stuff, and then going back and having to watch a series again, like The Walking Dead or Gotham used to come out every week and stuff like that. It absolutely annihilates me. It makes me so miserable. So, I'm massive for binge watching, which is probably why I'm
most people are now. Everyone I talk to is like that.
Yeah, because you can so easily lose the narrative from week to week, can't you?
I mean, if you take something like, excuse me, if you take something like Netflix, they tend to their new series. They bring out a whole season. They don't spoon feed you episodes. They know what people want.
But
I mean, even with Netflix though, even if they do just do the episodes, I find that if it's week by week, then I'll not lose interest, but I'll forget about it for a little bit unless it's a really good series, that I'm proper and fanning over. I'll forget about it, but then it almost compensates for it because I can then watch it 3 or 4 episodes at once, sort of thing. So I would have missed it 3-4 weeks. But again, the narrative disappearing. You have to go, oh yeah, of course.
The Walking Dead's the worst for something without an ending in sight, really.
So I think I've got stomach ulcers just from anticipating who's gonna die. Do you know what I mean? I can't. Oh my god, it's next month.
It will end eventually because I'm almost certain that that's based on, you can see the corpses rotting over time and stuff. And I'm pretty sure eventually they're going to rot away and it's not going to be an issue after you've survived X amount of years or something. But the comics are a thing. I don't think they've got an end in sight. So it's where's the basis? They're going to have to end it at some point because it is just going to become too much.
But they have to do it to every series. Do you know what I mean? Some of them drag it out to series 15. As much as I'm a massive fan of Supernatural, they do the same. They drag it out to, God, no, I think on they've been final. They've got 13 on the go now or something, series 13. It has to end. It has to,
It's better to end on a high than have it
Definitely.
die a slow, lingering death.
I mean, that's why, I was a really big fan of Smallville, and I know they still, I know they still dragged it out for 10 series, but I'm glad they ended it exactly where they did. They could have gone on to Clark Kent like turning from like Smallville teenager to like Superman, and carried on the Superman line, and could have done another 10 series on top. But I'm glad that they stopped where they did, because it was a perfect time. It was great for keeping it open for another show to come out of it perfectly, but also they've kind of, you know, just done it so that they didn't fucking kill the series off.
There's nothing to talk about dragging things out like anime. God,
Yeah.
If you were watching Dragon Ball Z week by week, you wouldn't know how one fight ended inside of a month.
Some of the episodes are literally just them screaming for half the time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, power is charging.
Like 7 or 8 minutes of the show.
They do it because it's filler, because it's easier to animate. That's one of my criticisms of Attack on Titan is there's a lot of filler in places, and they always have really long intros, so they don't have to animate for as long. That does my head in a bit. But if I was going to suggest...
But then again, it's not the same thing. You're talking about them drawing each frame.
Yeah.
It's
a lot more intensive.
It can't be.
Even with new technology, it's still a lot more intensive. But yeah, Attack on Titan, definitely one I would suggest for anyone who wants to...
It's creepy. I think Vanessa will like Death Note.
Death Note's I've been interested in Death Note for a long time. I've only watched a couple. A long time ago.
Maybe like 5 or 6 myself.
To get more into it, I think.
I know. I've got the box set here, so I'm gonna crack on through it bit by bit. But yeah, that's something. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely a slow builder. You can feel it like coming along and stuff.
It's definitely cool. I love the Shinigami. Tay has actually got a really weird DVD, which is Death Note, but from the perspective of Ryuk, who is the god of death, Vanessa, a god of death. Yeah. So it's all that happens. We've not watched it yet, but yeah, that might be an interesting take on it, because they're the coolest part of it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they are pretty cute.
They're so weird and cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool one. I was just thinking maybe I should do a topic for a different time. What would you do if you got the Death Note dropped for you, like it does for? What's the bad guy called? Is it L? What? No, that's the good guy, isn't it?
N, the first.
What's the bad guy called?
Light.
Yeah, if the Death Note dropped for you, what would you do? Maybe that's a topic for another day.
If you even write in it once, you don't go to heaven or hell.
Don't spoil it.
Stop spoilers.
Gone.
Spoilers.
Shut up.
I've got a theory about that personally, but I'm not going to talk about it.
It doesn't really mention it in the anime. Don't cry. It's in the books.
It'd be good to, even if you're not going to use it, it'd be good to touch it, because then you'd be able to see the Shinigami. So.
Yes, you could touch it, but if you write in it, then you kind of doomed. No one knows what happens to someone who owns a
someone like
Death
Light
Note.
was trying to play you, you'd know he was playing you because you'd be able to see the Shinigami with him. So you'd know he'd have a Death Note.
Wrong.
Why not?
You can only see the Shinigami that's linked to your Death Note.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Good point.
There might be exceptions. There's something else you can do, which is you can pay half of your natural lifespan to get the demon eyes.
The sight, yeah.
And you get the eyes of the Shinigami. So from that point on, everybody you see, you can see their name, their natural lifespan.
And all Shinigami, is it?
I can't remember quite how it works, but maybe you can see other ones then. But I'm not sure. I don't think it is. I think if you once touch a Death Note or a piece of it, then from then on you can see that Shinigami. But I think you can normally only see your own.
Is it? Yeah, just that one.
I haven't got a clue what you're on about.
You will do. Start watching some of them. I don't think Death Note's on Netflix anymore, but just I didn't tell you this, but just pirate it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, no, that is against the law. How could you?
I know. I wouldn't suggest it. If there is a genuine option to watch it without pirating, then do that. But let's face it, everybody does it. Everybody does it.
No, they don't.
It's cool to watch, though.
It's cool to break the law.
It was on Netflix at one point, but they removed it in the UK anyway.
If you acquire a Death Note, any name you can write down anybody's name in it, and how they will die. You can make them
choose
die.
their die as well. How they die. Yeah.
That's delightful.
Another good one I would suggest. I don't know if either of you've seen it. It's Full Metal Alchemist. It's probably a little bit.
Yeah, I've watched some of those.
It's probably a little bit difficult to get into.
I only watched it at the beginning.
Fucked up.
A few episodes in. It's the little brother.
It seems like very, like, child centric or whatever, because it's about two younger like kids or whatever. Because he's quite young early on, but it gets so fucked up. Have you seen up to the bit where there's that little girl that they meet? That's some like doctor's daughter or something. Have you seen up to that bit?
I can't remember.
It gets real fucked up. Like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically this doctor, he's trying to make the best philosopher's stone to be able to use these powers like infinitely and be immortal and whatnot. And yeah, so he experiments on his daughter, making it into like a dog creature thing, and then this sort of bad guy, I presume he's a bad guy, but you don't actually know, comes along and just like, he sees how fucked up she is and like puts her out of her misery and just blows her into like blood and guts and just against the wall. And it was this little girl. And it's like suddenly you're like shocked. You're like, wow, okay, well this is definitely not for children. This is definitely an adults only fucking thing. You know, it gets pretty full on, but it's still good. It's still a good series. It's definitely pretty cool. It's kind of got almost like an Avatar sort of vibe to it in a way, but like I said, not for kids. So, in a sense of how their powers are and stuff. But for me personally, my history with anime and stuff is from like film stuff. When they, like I said, it was more about films and things like Ninja Scroll, 80808, Ghost in the Shell. And there were certain series like Outlaw Star and Cowboy Bebop that pulled me in. Also Pat LaBour, that was a good film as well. So there were series, but it was more about the films back then, at least over here in the UK. They were the things that were pushed, and for me, that's where anime was at its best. I would much rather see more anime films, because it's like, you know, you see it, it's got super high production values, and then, you know, it's done and dusted. You get a start, beginning, and end. Whereas with anime, it just continues on for like a decade or more. You know, it's got a lot of mission creep, so...
I disagree. I've got no time for films anymore.
Really?
I like to see something I can get my teeth into. Yep.
Like Ninja Scroll, though. Come on, that's amazing. Ghost in the Shell.
I know.
I mean, there is a series of that. But...
We watched all the same ones.
Yeah.
But in anime and television and anything, I can't. I don't feel like I get value for money out of a movie anymore.
I know what you mean.
Everyone's into the series.
Because I don't rewatch films. I watch a film once, and the only time I usually end up rewatching them is if it's on TV. You know, so I get that to a degree.
I go through like a really, I probably won't now, but like I went through like a really bad phase. Well, I say phase, it was for like years. I had a thing for DVDs and stuff, and like, oh my god, I've got to have this DVD. And at a time, there was a point where I'd overwatch DVDs over and over. Oh, what DVD can I watch? But now there's Netflix. Now there's like all these channels on telly and stuff. Now there's Putlocker. Do you know what I mean? I've just got a bookshelf of like DVDs that I haven't probably touched one in. Do you know what? I honestly can put my hands up and say I haven't probably watched a DVD since a bare minimum a year.
That's the problem with it to a degree. It's like streaming has devalued the DVD and the video, you know, like physical media. It's completely devalued it. It's not worth, I mean, not just financially, but I mean even to yourself, because when you can just stream it, it's so much more convenient, you know. Yeah.
So like DVDs, they're expensive. Do you know what I mean? Like they're 15 quid sometimes for like, for something especially that you don't know if you're going to like. Now I remember...
It's only standard definition as well.
Lou might know. You know City of Bones books, Lou? By Cassandra Clare. Fantastic books.
Very good.
The Mortal Instruments, like the books were just phenomenal. I really loved them. And they made a movie. And I spent like, what, £10-15 on this piece of shit movie. And I watched it once and literally just like went to sell it.
Wanted to cry.
It was the most horrific destruction of a book that I've ever
I could have told you that was going to be shit out
abysmal.
Out of the bat, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, but normally, like I can deal with cheese, I can deal with bad things. I dealt with the Twilight movies. Do you know what I mean? But at least they were like fairly accurate. Like this was, they just made up a whole new part of it, and like everyone looked like the tribe. You know, from like Channel 5. They just looked like they were from that.
Don't be dissing the tribe.
That's not. I'm not dissing the tribe. I'm just saying it's not what it was about, and I'm a little bit butthurt by it. But the point stands. I spent £10, £15 of my bloody money on that shit, and yeah, I was highly disappointed.
It's an hour and a half of your life you'll never get back.
Ever. Like,
that's true.
And now the worst part, if I was to ever go back and read that book, I'd have their stupid little shitty faces in it.
But they're on about making an Attack on Titan movie, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gonna. I think they've already made Japanese ones. I think they've made 2, but they're gonna make like a Hollywood blockbuster one. But I think they're gonna set it in modern day, which is gonna be odd. So unless I would like them to see, unless they went like what happens in Attack on Titan the series is like historical, and they go and like talk about it.
Not exactly. It's become kind of medieval, but it's impossible to know what the true time is.
Is it? I thought that they were going for modern age because there's supposed to be helicopters in it.
No, I don't know, but it's hard to say because they've lost their grip on time, haven't they? Because they've been trapped within this city, within the walls.
No, but I mean in the movie,
years at least.
The movie's supposed to be set in modern times. So what I would like them to see them do with it is the series is a historical thing, like an archaeological dig perhaps, and it explains what happened way back when, and then for some reason, because no one knows how the Titans exist yet, for some reason they come back or whatever, and then it's them in the modern age, and that could be interesting, seeing them perhaps trying to build walls and stuff. I would expect like a Pacific Rim sort of vibe, which kind of sucks. I prefer it if they did have it in the olden days, like.
I don't think the time period. I think it is a kind of interchangeable a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
Well, the time period in Attack on Titan could be in the future. It could be post-apocalypse for all we know.
Absolutely, that's the point, isn't it?
And we could have just lost the technology and things, you know. Although that would be hard to understand fully, but you never know. I'm sure they could think of a reason for it. But yeah, anyway, that's definitely my favourite one of the modern era at the moment. Attack on Titan. Full Metal Alchemist is pretty dope as well, and I'm starting to get into Death Note and stuff. So I'm slowly starting to creep back into it a little bit, which is why I thought I'd bring it up on your thoughts and stuff. But me personally, I'd rather see like fucking really high quality movies, or at least more high quality movies, like Ninja Scroll and Ghost in the Shell, Akira and stuff, even though I think Akira is a little bit overrated. But yeah, stuff like that. I mean, there were good series back in the day. Like I used to love Outlaw Star and Cowboy Bebop and whatnot. And Full Metal Alchemist is a bit old now, but yeah, you know, going forward, you know, what are your thoughts on the future of anime? Do you think it's going to stick with this whole serial style or whatever?
I like it. I know what you're saying, but I disagree. I prefer it. I want more bang for my buck. I don't want a story crammed into 2 hours.
But the downside of that is...
I want it told properly.
The downside of that is you're going to have it stretched over, like, perhaps a decade or more. Is that cool with you? Is that what you want?
I suppose so. I think they need to pull their fingers out if they're going to do it.
It's difficult, though, isn't it? It's like we were saying, animating's difficult. So, you know.
But, you know, maybe hold fire, like, live in the past a little bit, get into something that's already established. Like you say, start on something older. Start watching Naruto. It's nearly all there, laid out for you.
Yeah, I don't. Personally, I'm a bit turned off that. I don't know. I mean, it's probably a little bit like Dragon Ball Z, so it's probably cool. But
I love Naruto. It's excellent.
Like I'm big into Dragon Ball Z. I watched all the Z ones or whatever. I need to get on to watching the new ones that have been made as well.
Maybe give them a little time before you begin is what I'd advise, so that you got something to get your teeth into.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is try and bosh out Death Note. I haven't finished off Full Metal Alchemist. I've got quite far through that. I should finish that as well, but yeah. So, but pretty cool. Anyway, I just wanted to see what everybody's thoughts were on anime, because I think it can be quite a controversial subject. People do see it as like kiddified bullshit, and I think that's unfair, even if you're not
people that have
into
that
it that
opinion
much.
haven't watched it.
Yeah.
They haven't really watched it. That's nonsense.
I mean, I'm definitely not a hardcore anime fan. I wouldn't even call myself an anime fan at this point. But I'm starting to get a bit of a feel for it back again, so it's interesting me a little bit. So it's cool.
It's just bits and pieces. Like, I don't know any of the obscure stuff, but you know, if something comes along, I give it a go.
Yeah. Wow, that's this month's Recon Cast done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed our shenanigans and tomfoolery, and don't forget to join in with our nonsense by posting your ideas for future topics in the comments. And as well as a name check, your topic could feature in an upcoming episode. Anywho, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more BS of a similar nature. Thank you, and goodbye.